I've been charged for murder. I've been charged for conspiracy to murder. I've been charged for treason. I've been charged for terrorism. I've been charged for guns and ammunition. Nothing has stuck because they just fabricated all these cases against me.
We keep talking about 1990, 1990. How would you describe that to someone who never heard about what happens?
We were cleaning up the drug trade, right? And, excuse me. And the government ministers was found in the airport by a woman police officer with all these drugs. I mean, I'm not talking about 10 kilos, a substantial amount of drugs. These ministers, right? And she came to us and told us that the government is planning to kill her. So I said, well, why would the government kill you? She was working with the narco section in the airport, of course in plain clothes, not in uniform, and stumbled onto them with all this cocaine. So then she tried to get this matter addressed by the commissioner of police and everybody, and nobody wanted to take her and say, you crazy. This is the Attorney General, the Minister of National Security, the advisor, and the Major Thompson from the Army, and this is ridiculous. We can't report these people. And then finally she came to us. 4 days after she came to me and complained about this matter, they created a mock battle at Chagaramas. And she was sitting in a bus, and one of the police officers in the bus shot her in her head and killed her. 4 days before they killed her, she came to me and told me the people who were in the VIP room, the people I just called and told you. So after I exposed that, then they unleashed the state machinery on me and occupied my land, and then every Friday I couldn't have any peaceful prayer. They would destroy the things. Until finally it come to the court and I arrested them and charged them for the murder, and that's the coup. That was what the coup was about. We arrested them. They said it was wrong and we could make this a settlement, and so they wrote an amnesty. They betrayed it, but after 2 years it went to the Privy Council and then we were let up. After 1990, the authorities destroyed everything while we were in prison. They bombed all the things, everything. They just destroyed literally everything except the mosque, right? And the man was driving the tractor up to the mosque and it overturned and almost killed him. That's why he didn't destroy the mosque.
Since 1990, there's been a lot of scapegoating of you as of some sort of bogeyman for what's sort of happening in Trinidad right now. I mean, do you feel like you've been targeted by the officials here?
Since 1990, I've been charged for murder. I've been charged for conspiracy to murder. I've been charged for treason. I've been charged for terrorism. I've been charged for guns and ammunition. Nothing has stuck because they just fabricated all these cases against me. So that is not prosecution, that is persecution.
And we're hearing a lot now that the narco trade here is ramping up a lot.
Yes, of course.
Is it coming from politicians? Is it coming from business people? Where is it coming from?
Everybody's involved. Everybody's involved. Everybody, the police, everybody's involved. The Coast Guard, everybody's involved. Our next one neighbor, 7 miles, is Venezuela. And then right next to Venezuela is Colombia. And right here, this is the transshipment point.
I mean, the other thing that we're looking into, that's contributing to...
Where have you been in Trinidad since you're here?
Port of Spain, we were in Leban's Hill, we were at the university, we were in Beetham, we were in John for a little bit.
You didn't see nothing? Go and look at the affluence in Trinidad, and you know in Brooklyn you can find the affluence that exists in Trinidad nowhere.
And you think it's all coming from the drug trade?
All of it, yeah. All, not part, but all.
All of it?
Yeah. How else? What are you talking about?
So then, I mean, it seems like it's very easy for the government then to blame the kids in John and Beetham, and that's why they're going in there.
Listen, you have sense, I'm sure. You are insulting my intelligence. Yeah? A drug dealer A drug dealer will live in Beetham. Drug dealers live in sprawling mansions with swimming pools and cars. And you've been in John John. Have you seen any sprawling mansions in John John? You seen any swimming pools in John John? You seen any lavish cars? Come on now. Come on. Don't insult my intelligence. You know that. You know how drug dealers live? Sprawling mansions.
They live well.
Yes, 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 of course. So that's why I say go to the other parts of Trinidad and see how those people live in, and you want to know 1.3 million people, where is money coming from? I mean, what is selling to make this money?
But at the same time, though, you do have, I mean, we're looking into the fact over the past 15 years, the murder rate in Trinidad has gone through the roof.
Yes, that is true.
And what's to blame for that?
Well, part of it is poverty. I mean, poverty leads to disbelief, right? And when people don't have any belief in anything at all, whether it be spirituality or they don't have any guidance or anything, they operate according to how they see. I mean, when a lion kills a deer to feed its children, the lion is never charged for murder. So, I mean, when a man can't feed his children and he commits, what do you want him to do?
But there was poverty 20 years ago, you know, and there's poverty now. But you didn't see 500 murders a year 20 years ago. Now you see 500 murders a year.
I was in charge.
Oh, because you were in charge.
I'm telling you, I was in charge. 20 years ago, before 1990, I was in charge of the ground. And when I came out of prison, I left it and I say, I'm telling you what happened. There was just a commission of inquiry, right? They asked the Prime Minister in the Commission of Inquiry. This was the question posed directly to him by the chairman. What was your problem, Mr. Chairman, with Abu Bakr and the Jamaat al-Muslimin? And he said they were playing police. That was his answer, that we were playing police. Of course, I don't know, I was playing what I was. I used to be a police officer for 10 years, right? So I wasn't playing police, I am a police.
After you go to jail, what happens? You lose power of the streets? Or
No, we just left it.
You just left the streets?
We left it. We say, that's where you want? Well, we left it. And that's what's the problem now. We left it.
Who's controlling it right now?
Controlling what?
Who's controlling the streets?
It's out of control because all the young people just come up after them who don't have the experience of the streets, who didn't have the will, the control. I mean, and a lot of the people who were the community leaders were people who were in our organization. We control the streets.
And there were people in their community that were dealing drugs, so you cast them out.
Yeah, they are dealing drugs, yes. Some people in those communities, they're dealing drugs. I mean, yeah. And of course, we are opposed to that. But we are not at war with those people.
No, you're not at war. I'm saying the breakaway factions that broke away from here that you cast out, they're the ones that seem to have taken a little bit of control in these neighborhoods.
Some of them, yeah, because they were taught by me how to be leaders. So obviously, if they're in the community, they will be the leaders.
And as a former police officer, how do you feel about the police right now in Trinidad, how they're doing?
There are too many extrajudicial killings. There are too many, much too many. But you see, before 1990, I was up against the police for that very said reason, right? And after 1990, it slowed down. Now it's gone out of hand. But it tells you something about the governance of the country, right? If you are a parent in your house, the more control you have over your children is the less discipline you will need to control them. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you are running your home properly, your children don't need to be disciplined. You don't need laws every week, new restrictions for them, new curfews for them, because your home is being run properly as a parent, and you're looking after your wife and your children. But if you're not running your home properly, you're in trouble, because every week now your children are getting in problems and you have to keep making new law. You can't come in after this time, you have to do that. You start cutting them restrictions and things like that. And then if you think as a parent that they're not listening, you resort to physical kind of thing for the discipline. Me, I don't do that. I've never hit my wives, and I don't hit my children. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in corporate. I'm a lover man. I am, ask anybody in Trinidad, I am the man.
Me too.
I am the man with all the girls. The girls love me. Eh?
So are you worried about the future for what you see in this country right now, in this city, for these young people, about what's going on here, that it seems like it's getting more and more out of control every year?
Every day, no, every year, definitely getting out and out of control. I mean, and they've gone beyond that, because now young women are not safe, young women are being raped and things like that, so it's gone beyond that. The respect that we used to have for elderly people and things like that, all that is part of the problem. It's a holistic problem. It's not just a question of having money, you know, it's a holistic problem, and it has to be addressed in that manner, holistic. It has nothing to do with the shortage of money in the country, you know. It has nothing to do, we give you 67% of your natural gas. You, the big monolith America, 67% of your natural gas. You know how much money that is?
So where's it going?
Until you take a drive and look, see where it's going.
Because it's not going to John John, it's not going to 11-2.
No, it's not going to none of the depressed areas. So are we getting better or are we getting worse? It's getting worse every day. And it's going to explode. It's a natural phenomenon, you know, that this place is going to explode. It's on a timber box. It's only waiting now to thing. You lived in America, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, police beat black people every day in America, right?
Yeah.
One day, however, there was a lot of dissatisfaction in Los Angeles. You know, the place was saturated with dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
And one day, somebody just beat a black man in Los Angeles, and the place was torched because the place was saturated with discontent, right? But every day, police just beat people in America, black people, and it don't happen because it's not saturated with discontent.
But here right now.
Now it is saturated with discontent. Anybody tell you it's otherwise? Who is content? There's nobody, even the rich and the affluent. They are not happy. They live behind, they're in jail, of course, because they live behind bars. And they know that this thing is going to explode. They know, everybody. They know it's going to explode. What they don't know is what's going to happen when it explodes.
If this tinderbox blows up, I mean, what role do you see for yourself?
Not me, I'm not a politician. I told you I'm a priest, man. How much time I'll tell you that?
But someone like you, this sort of leader who holds communities together, is something that
Yeah.
these people desperately need.
Yeah.
Now, and more than ever,
Yeah.
if things reach a tipping point and
Yeah.
there's just chaos and anarchy in the streets.
You see, my problem is I cannot go to the people and say, vote for me. That is my problem. If the people says, you know, if you go back, you have no Jewish in your issue?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, you had to, no, you had to, looking at your nose, you had to ask some Jewish, although you know it has some black Jews, eh?
Yeah.
The Falasha Jews, yeah.
Ethiopians, yeah.
Yeah, Falasha, they're Jews because it's 12 brothers.
It's one of the tribes.
Yeah,
Ethiopia.
12 tribes, yeah. So Joseph was the last, Joseph and Benjamin had a different mother. And that's why they sold Joseph into slavery, but Joseph is the man who rescued Egypt, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's my forte, as a priest, remember that. My responsibility is to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. In the end, they will judge me. How I interact with everyone in Trinidad and Tobago is how I will be judged on the day of judgment when I come before God, but not before a few men who somebody want to appoint. And that will include you too, because I don't know what you're going to do with this film, but you know, you've now become part of my life and I am part of your life. So you and I, on the day of judgment, when we come up before God, you say, well, you know, I make both of you. I'm your creator, you know.
I'll put in a good word for you.
Huh?
I'll put in a good word for you.
I would appreciate that, and I will reciprocate.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Nice seeing you, man.
Nice
yeah.
to see you too.
Yeah, yeah.